Yo, what's going on, America? It's your boy Johnny Quest and your man Slim Jim Longfoot. Once again, welcome to the Nerd Strip Club. That's right, your boy Johnny Quest almost didn't make it today, man. I do apologize. You know, we had a couple things going on. Feel a little under the weather, man. Thought your boy had that Rona, man, but it's actually a sinus infection. So please forgive me, man. I really do apologize about that. But you know, we here, we back, we ready to get it started. Ready to get retarded, ready to get down with the get down and get nerdy and dirty, man. So tonight, man, I want to tell you a story, man. Very secret story. I don't tell everybody the story, man. Everybody know of the incident, but they don't necessarily know the story. You know what I mean? When I was tonight, man, I want to tell you a story, man. I was actually in Savannah at some one point before I came to our institute, and you know, to this day, man, I really don't drink unless it's casual. That's very casual. Don't take any form of narcotics, no, you know, I don't smoke, I don't pop pills, I don't do none of that stuff, man. Because and there's it's a very good reason why, you know what I mean? Because of this particular story. So let's flash back to when your boy Johnny Quest was hitting 21. Now, I don't know if it was exactly my birthday, the date of my birthday, or somewhere around my birthday. It was somewhere close around there. So at the time, I had three roomies, man. It was my boy Carlos, my boy Wing Lee. Wing Lee actually went on to work for Blizzard. I think he's working on what is it called? StarCraft, the newer one, the second one, whatever. But he went on to do that, and then my man Tobias. So, you know, they was like, man, we're gonna throw you this big shindig, man. We're gonna do this party, whatever, man. It's gonna be dope. I said, all right, cool, man, we do this. So the funny part was about it, you know what I'm saying? But they didn't want to do it at the house. They wanted to do it at Carlos' house. I was like, man, yo, man, you know, I'm from Savannah, man. My people down here, you know what I'm saying? We go to hit my house, ain't my people ain't gonna be there, man. We can throw this crazy party. So I'm like, all right, cool. So lo and behold, they come, you know what I mean? We getting dressed with her, whatever. Wing Lee, like, yo, man. So we called him Lee, my man Lee, man Tobias. So Tobias, let me first I'll start talk, just give you a description of Tobias. Tobias is exactly what you remember when your man Wayne Brady said. I mean, not Wayne Brady. Dave Chappelle said that he make Bryant Gumbel look like Malcolm X. Like, this is exactly who Tobias is, man. Like, Tobias was that dude. Like, your man had the glasses all the time on. He was very straight laced, like completely, utterly. This man was that dude. He was actually going to school to study what was it? I want to say it's not fine arts, but he was studying music, kind of like with NDRE, because you know NDRE went to Savannah College Art and Design too. So he was pretty much doing the same thing for the music shit. So he was like, you know, very, very relaxed, whatever. So I kid you not, the night we get ready to go to my party, my man came out with the do-rag on. He had the sweater on was like the hoodie type joint. He had the Timberlands on. He was like, yo, son, we about to get crazy tonight. And I'm like, yo, Tobias, what did you switch it up on him? Like, when did you become hardcore gangster? He's like, yo, man, you know what I'm saying? I just had to keep a low profile, you know what I mean? So they don't know, you know what I'm saying? Try to kick a nigga up out of here if they really know who really is. But for the night, y'all can call me Ty. I was like, Tobias, you can call you Ty? He was like, yeah, you gonna call me Ty. I was like, this shit is about to be very peculiar, to say the least. So he was like, yo, don't worry about it. I got some bitches we about to pick up, and you know what I'm saying, we're gonna take them back. So we got you strippers, my nigga, and you gonna ride with the strippers. I'm like, we're gonna ride. Oh, that's crazy. Okay, cool. So I'm ready. I'm like, yo, we gonna do this. So we get to, you know what I'm saying? So Savannah, it's not like it's the most busiest place in the world. So it's a place called the Savannah Gentlemen's Club, which is shady to even start off. Like, it's a little shaky to begin with. So we get to the club, you know what I mean? He pull out. My man is driving like this Yukon, and I'm in the back of the Yukon. My man Lee and him is in the front. He was like, yo, you gonna be back there with the bitches because you the birthday boy. So I'm like, yo, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? This nigga Ty is cool. You know, Tobias is lame, but this nigga Ty is cool. I fucks with Ty. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm thinking this myself. So we pull up. You're like, yo, I'll be back. So he comes back. Now, when you think strippers, right? You think like they're gonna be attractive, you know what I'm saying, bad, whatever. So I'm looking, and it's almost like I'm looking at a movie angle because I start at the legs and I go up, and I'm like, okay. And then when they get up to the top, I'm like, yo, these is the ugliest broads I've ever seen in my life. Like, if they work at a strip club, they must be paid to put their clothes back on. It makes no reason for them to be this ugly. And I'm like, this has got to be out of his mind, yo. Like, why would you? He was like, yo, these some bad bitches. I'm like, no, this is some bitches, but this ain't no bad bitches. I don't know what you're saying. And so he was like, yo, go sit in the man in the back seat, my man C, because it's his birthday. I'm like, nah, it's good. You know, I don't necessarily like to play with animals before I go out because I got my good clothes on. I don't like to play with nobody's animals. So, you know, but he was like, nah, man. So literally, I'm telling you, they get in the back, you know what I mean? And one of them, yo, her boobs were so long, I swear to you, I might be tripping, but I think she took one of her boobs and like threw it over her shoulder and was like, how you doing? You the birthday boy? And I was like, nah, it ain't my birthday. I don't need age. I stay the same age for life. I don't age at all. I don't age.
Was it the old lady from Shaka Zulu?
Man, she might have been the old lady from Shaka Zulu. I'm talking about whenever for them to dance in the club, the lights had to be completely out. Like you had to be with like a lighter in this club apparently because these bras was ugly. And so one of them wasn't too bad. I ain't gonna say all of them was like one of them wasn't too bad. But yo, her breath smelled like she just ate barbecue ass chips. Like she just took them and just like seasoned them, and that was what she was eating on. Her breath was hot. Like she was like Game of Thrones. Like what your girl Khaleesi say? Draconis. Like that's what her breath was like. It was like sick. So, you know, I'm like, all right, we're gonna make the best of this, man. We're gonna make the best of this. So, you know, so my man Carlos hits up, was like, yo, man, can y'all stop and get something to drink before y'all get to the house? You know what I'm saying? Because people already get here. I'm a little low. You know what I'm saying? Can y'all get some drinks? So it was like, sure, cool, no problem. We stop at the liquor store. So we stop at the liquor store, and there's this, I don't want to call him a bum. We're going to say a less than privileged individual. He's standing outside. He like, hey, yo, man, you got a dollar you can help me out with, brother? Trying to get in here and give me a little drink. So I'm like, yeah, man, sure. So I gave dude a $5. So Tobias walked by dude, you know what I'm saying? He in his time mode. He like, yo, nigga, move back from my car. He like, hey, baby, I'll wash your car. You ain't got to be like that. You know what I'm saying? I already see you, the man, looking at all them bad bitches in your car. And I'm like, this nigga's definitely on crack because no way in the hell you just said they was bad. You was definitely on crack. So I'm like, all right, you know what I mean? I'm tripping. I'm going to get this. I'm going to get this, and I'm going to get this taken care of. I'm going to get this alcohol, and I'm going to get out. So we get out. You know what I mean? So I don't see the crackhead no more. He's gone because I was going to give him some change when I came out, but he was gone. So I'm like, all right, whatever. So we get in the car, and Tobias is over here rapping to my girl with the boobie that's over her shoulder. You know what I mean? And so he backs out. And I'm like, yo, man, why don't you keep your eyes on your driving? He like, man, I got this. And I'm like, yo, what did you hit? And he's like, man, I ain't hit nothing. I was like, oh, no, you hit something. You hit something. We got to get out the car and check. So we get out the car and check. And lo and behold, oh, you done hit me. You done hit me with your car. I can't believe this, baby. You done hit me. I'm like, oh, my God. We're going to jail on my birthday for you running over a crackhead. I don't even know why you would run over a crackhead. And he was like, man, I don't know what I'm going to do. And so I look, I'm like, yo, Lee, what we going to do? So you see a car door where Lee was supposed to be at, and you just see the door open. My man Lee had to literally like run 3-4 blocks down the street because you didn't see him nowhere in eyesight. Nowhere. And not only that, the strippers was gone too. So everybody had abandoned ship on us. And I'm like, yo, it's over. It's over. You done killed the crackhead, and we're going to go to jail for it on my birthday. And it's your fault. That's why I don't even mess with people named Tobias. Be like, it's Ty tonight. Yeah, and Ty going to die tonight because I'm not going to die with you, Ty. So apparently, as we all know, crackheads are indestructible. They're indestructible. You can't. Even if you hit them with a Yukon, if you back them over with a Yukon, they're still indestructible. They don't die. So a man got up and he was like, man, it's crazy, man. He just hit me with your car, man. I can't believe You hit me with your cards. I was like, man, look, man, I'm sorry, man. Look, man, what can I do for you? He was like, well, you know, you could go in there and get me a drink and a bag of hot fries. Now, who am I to sit up here and negotiate with a man who cares more about a drink and a bag of hot fries than potentially homicide? So I'm not gonna argue with him. So I'm like, okay, well, let's get him and let's go. So we get all this craziness is gone. We ain't seen the girls. We ain't seen Lee. We don't know where Lee's at. We don't know where the girls at. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe man Lee went home. He was obviously afraid. He's a different persuasion. So I know when he saw this type of drama that black folks go with, he was like, hell no, I'm out. I'm not even like, he just like ninja vanished. Like he was out. He wasn't trying to be a part of this situation. So we get to my camera moved. My camera like, man, this shit's crazy. So we get to the spot. We finally get to the spot. Man, Carlos is out there. He's like, yo, man, what's going on, man? What's taking y'all so long? He was like, I had talked to Lee, man. Lee said he packing his shit. He about to leave the country. I'm like, this little motherfucker just gonna leave us? He was like, yeah, man, it's got crazy. What happened? I was like, man, don't even worry about it, man. He's like, where the dancers at? I was like, look, bro, you lucky the dancers didn't show up. That's the best part of this night. The dancers didn't show up. So this fool said, he was like, yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? You got a little edge. Why don't you take a little edge off? So I said, all right, cool. I'm going to take a little edge off. He said, man, I got this right here. So my man pulls out a small Thundercat sticker. Now, at the time, I've heard of stickers, but I never knew what stickers were, right? So I'm like, I knew them. And I was like, he was like, man, this is going to just take the edge off, man. Just take the sticker, and you're going to be straight. And I'm like, man, this little bitty sticker, man, this ain't going to do nothing, man. Start the sticker. So I go into the house, and all of a sudden, the colors just like start hitting my face, and I can literally feel the music. I'm like, this month done drugged me. I cannot believe you, Carlos. He's like, man, chill out, man. It's just a little sticker, man. You're going to be all right. I'm like, no, I'm not going to be all right. So after that, you know, he starts giving me Everclear. We drinking, whatever. So I'm spinning. Next thing I know, I wake up in the hospital, and they're like, yo, you fell out a window. And I'm like, I fell out a window. This figures because of the horrible night that I had. That's the only way it could have ended was by me falling out the window. They was like, yeah, man, you was like, you don't want to do this shit no more. You just jumped out the window. I'm like, really? The fact that you drugged me, gave me ugly strippers, almost made me go to jail for killing a homeless dude, and this one drugged me, and you don't think I jumped out a window? I'm sure I did. But you know what I'm saying? That can only happen to nerds, America. Welcome to the Nerd Strip Club.
Yo, what's up? You know what I'm saying? Hey, if that don't tell you about the life of nerds, especially in the early 21st century, I don't know what else will. You know what I'm saying? Welcome to the Nerd Strip Club, where we get nerdy and dirty up in this thing. So, you know what I'm saying? Come on in, shake your tail feathers to this convo where we talking hip hop, where we talking comics, we talking movies and TV, games, and much more, music, all that stuff. It's your man Slim Jim Longfoot, aka the GOAT King of America. You already know. Over here to my right here, we got Johnny Quest Gaming in the building. You know what I'm saying? That just gave y'all an antidote for the ages. You know what I'm saying? For all times to listen to until your grandchildren grow up, and then they be like, you know what? I don't want no friend named Carlos, mama. Why not? Look, you know what I'm saying? There you go, right there. Speaking of Carlos, once again, shout outs to the Carlos that daggone took our food when me, Johnny and my bro, my cuz over here, Grand Hustler, who in the building playing Outriders. We was all chilling earlier this year. You know what I'm saying? Got some food. You know what I'm saying? Ordered some food, and the guy Carlos supposed to be delivering food. And guess what? He didn't daggone bring the food. It might have been the same Carlos.
Might have been the same Carlos.
It might have been the same daggone. It might have been the same one. So we on. But yo, got a few things to talk about tonight. You know what I'm saying? One of the things that I want to start off with, we try to start off, we try to keep it in categories. So we're gonna start off first and foremost with movies and TV. I myself have not yet seen A Quiet Place 2, but I know A Quiet Place 2 has been busting the box office. It is the highest grossing movie since the pandemic era, of course, started. I don't know the exact numbers. I ain't no movie critic like that, but I know it's been busting numbers. Shout outs to Emily Blunt and everybody involved in that joint right there. I definitely look forward to seeing that. As a matter of fact, I'm probably end up seeing it the night before I go to sleep. But A Quiet Place 2, I know is busting because the first one was awesome. And then keep on driving up, because actually bring it back down just a little bit, y'all, so I can get me some more AMC stock, because I'm trying to rise all the way up with you. You feel me? The AMC and that Pfizer stock, yeah, y'all keep on getting stuck up and going to the movies. I'm with it, baby. I'm with it. Have you seen A Quiet Place 2 yet, son?
I haven't seen it yet because I'm kind of anti the actual being in the box office at this exact moment. You know what I mean? I wish it had came to the home, but I'm really excited about seeing it, because last year I was just like super hyped up about it. Because I went and I watched The Quiet Place 1, and I was like, man, I gotta see part 2 when it came out. But of course the pandemic hit and we actually got put in our own quiet place, so it kind of it flipped it all up. But I'm really happy to see where that series go. But speaking of movies, one that I've seen, and I'm gonna cue this up for you, Slim, so you can show a couple moments of this right here, is a joint called Psycho Goreman. And Psycho Goreman is just crazy, man. It's one of them off-kilter joints. This is like a slasher type movie. And I'm gonna give y'all a couple moments of this right here. Hold on a second. Let's get that pulled up so y'all can see what I'm talking about. So give him a little bit of that Psycho Goreman. So
okay.
It's almost, it's like Power Rangers meets Freddy Krueger is the best I can say. You know what I mean? It's crazy, man. I seen this one, I was like, yo, this is bugged out. Like, it's a bugged out movie. You know what I mean? It's one of those Friday nights back in the 80s type joints where you watching like the horror films and something weird come on, like Weird Science or something like that. So it's definitely got that old school feel to it. Much like if y'all ain't seen Wolf Cop, it's like your Wolf Cop. You should definitely check it out if you ain't seen Wolf Cop. But this is Psycho Goreman. It's pretty hot. I thought it was definitely a joint that you would like if you watch the old 80s joints and just the really weird sci-fi horror films.
Have you seen this yet?
Yeah, I've seen it. I've actually seen it twice. It's hilarious, man. It's really hilarious. But it's actually got some pretty decent fight scenes. Your man Psycho Goreman, he a beast because he's actually the villain. He's not a good guy. He actually came to he's like an ultimate destroyer, like the ultimate destroyer of all time. But what it is, the little girl has his stone, the only thing that can control him. So imagine she's got the most dangerous villain in the entire world under her control.
I see it.
Yeah, and she's under control of him, and he's a killer, man. Like this dude, he's ridiculous, man. Like when you watch it, you'll be like, wow, this dude here is crazy, man. But it's pretty official. You can go ahead and cut the clip, Slim. But yeah, it's pretty official, man. I liked it. It's definitely something that I say catch, get you some popcorn, get some people together, and watch that, man. It's definitely great. Speaking of nostalgia and movies, Slim, we've been talking about Lethal Weapon 5 coming back because your man Corey Feldman actually said that he wasn't going to be doing the Goonies 2 due to the fact that your man Donner's last movie was going to be Lethal Weapon 5. So it's happening. We talked about it. We was hoping it, Slim. What you think?
So Richard Donner, as y'all know, Richard Donner, legendary director. He's directed several movies, and those being, of course, the very first Superman movie. I cannot recall whether or not he directed Superman 2, but he, of course, is best known as directing the very first Superman movie that came out in 1978, starring the late Christopher Reeve and late Margot Kidder. Also, he directed The Goonies, which is a cult classic from 1985 with young rising stars such as Corey Feldman, my boy, I can't remember his name right now. Sean Astin, and of course the future Thanos in Cable, Josh Brolin, and And of course, Richard Donner also directed the 4 Lethal Weapon movies, all 4 movies starring Mel Gibson, Glover. And Donner is 90 years old. I didn't even know he was that old, which I kind of figured because, you know, he wasn't a young man when we were kids, obviously. But Donner is 90 years old, and he wants his swan song to be a 5th Lethal Weapon movie as opposed to being a Goonies sequel, which I understand, you know what I'm saying? Because it's actually, wait, is everybody from the Goonies still alive? Because I think somebody's dead. I know Horace from the Monster Squad is dead, but I think everybody from the Goonies might still be alive though. But Horace from the Monster Squad,
I think what's the name not alive. I think Chunk is not alive. Not Chunk, but Chunk. The hey you guys. I think he's dead.
Wait, no. I think he's still alive. I think he got skinny.
Not the boy. Not the one.
Oh no! You talking about Sloth? Yeah,
Sloth. That's what I'm gonna say. Sloth. Sloth is dead. That's the only one I think is dead. Sloth,
and of course the mom. Yeah, obviously. Yeah. But I believe everybody else is just about alive. So except for of course their mom, you know, who of course played the psychiatrist in Lethal Weapon movie. She's of course has passed on. But so Lethal Weapon 5. If Lethal Weapon 5 comes out. What can we expect? Because of course, obviously, the last Lethal Weapon movie came out in 1998, which of course featured the first American big role of Jet Li, of course, who is major action star, you know, in Asia, and of course, this was his first big American role, and of course, he went on many more roles after that, you know, saying internationally. Speaking from Romeo Must Die, The One, so forth, Kiss of the Dragon. I mean, y'all know Jet Li. If you don't know Jet Li, I mean, where you been at?
He should have been in the Matrix.
Right.
They should have took that chance to put him into the Matrix, but they didn't. But, you know, I mean, Lethal Weapon 5, the biggest synopsis that I could possibly put in this movie is that Murtaugh and, I can't think of Riggs at this point is gotta be either back to being beat cops is the lowest level they could possibly be, or they gotta be damn sergeant lieutenants and captains by now. I'm thinking they gotta be captains of the police squad by now, unless they just want a bad spiral.
I definitely don't think they will be beat cops at this point because we already seen them, of course, get demoted to beat cops at one point, and you know that would pretty. That would be a trope they shouldn't do again. And then, of course, even as beat cops, they can't, you know, they end up in action. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter what position they're in. I mean, obviously, whatever position they're in this movie, like Murtaugh, if Murtaugh isn't retired by now, I don't know what to say about. He's been trying to retire since the 80s, just about. It feel like
completely. He's always been too old for this shit. Like, you know, and like now you can literally say everybody in the movie is too old for this shit. Even
everybody.
The kids at this point. Even the kids.
Chris Rock is too old for it now. Chris Rock.
Right.
They say everybody's too old for it now.
So, I mean, that's the crazy part. You know what I mean? But
all the people who isn't too old for it is, of course, Riggs' son that was born in Lethal Weapon 4 and Murtaugh's grandson, Butter's son, who was born in Lethal Weapon 4. So they're the only ones who weren't too old for it. You feel me? Like they should.
And how old would they be right now if we date them to that time period?
They would be 22, 20. I mean, because no, they would be 23 because they were born in the movie. You think if they were born in the movies in 1998, obviously that's 23 years ago. So they'd be 23 now. So they'd be right on time to be like coming out of the academy or already, you know, on the scene as beat cops or becoming detectives or whatever the case is. If they following in, you know, their father and grandfather's footsteps.
So that's what I'm hoping they do. I mean, from what I read, a little synopsis they had, they said it was going to be very sad, that it was going to end off on a cliffhanger. I mean, I don't know how poetic it will be.
Murtaugh died. Excuse me, I'm sorry for interrupting, but if Riggs and Murtaugh die now, I mean, it would be sad. It would be jacked up because we don't want to see our heroes die, but they're old now, so it's like if they die, you know, hey, they go out in the blaze of glory, whichever way it go, because I mean, they are old now, you know. So.
I mean, it's true. I mean, at this point, you know, the characters, and that's one of those things where I think we look back at a lot of our 80s heroes, 90s heroes, man, we missed a lot of opportunities. People can say what they want to about Fast and the Furious, but that's one franchise that is not taking no time to lose with their characters.
You know what? I will give a clap to that because that is the one thing you can say. They ain't waiting like 2, 3, 4, 5 years for a new movie. Shoot, the Fast and Furious, they this year marks 20 years. This year marks 20 years, bro, since the first Fast and Furious movie came out. And here they are about to be, what is this? Fast 9, Fast? I can't even keep up right now.
Fast 9. But you know, the thing about the Fast and Furious is, though, I mean, in the Fast and the Furious, a lot of people didn't like, say, Fast and the Furious 3. And Fast and Furious 3 really was, besides the first one, was the only movie that was really true to driving. I mean, it brought out drifting, which is a very popular thing. And you see that in just about every single racing game. And people see Fast and Furious 3 and they're like, oh, it was trash, man. It was trash. But, I mean, every other Fast and the Furious kind of went something completely different. Like, they went from being Fast and the Furious to G.I. Joe. So, you know, to see their development and how far that has went over the years has been really interesting. You know, but I wish the 90s characters had really took that same mantra and used that as their thing to carry on. Because, I mean, like, for instance, we had characters like Cyborg. They had a Cyborg too, but it wasn't Van Damme. Why did you use Van Damme and Cyborg too? Like, it didn't make sense. Then Rambo. You took so long to bring out Rambo movies. Then the biggest opportunity, and everybody can say this from the 80s that saw it, was
Stallone and Schwarzenegger.
Why didn't we get a Contra movie?
It's like,
why no Contra movie? It's two of the biggest action stars of all time fighting against space aliens and their Marines. They had the same haircuts, the bandana. I mean, you could have just said, okay, it's Commando and Rambo, and they're fighting aliens. And we would have been like, oh, we probably would have been in the movie seats trying to do, oh, man, they about to kill it. Wait a minute. Up, up, down, down, left, right, BA, select, start. I mean, we probably did that. But, I mean, you know, I don't know, man. It just missed opportunities. But
so many missed opportunities because there's so much more that, I mean, you already like, we think about the movies that we got, but then we think about the movies that we didn't get because of the simple fact is they could have done so much more. You know what I'm saying? In that time frame, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like I remember when Planet Hollywood first came out. Planet Hollywood was founded by Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone, and Bruce Willis, three of arguably the biggest action stars of their generation. Those three guys right there. You know, of course, I mean, Bruce Willis, of course, started coming on the scene when he started doing his Die Hard movies after his, stint on TV on Moonlighting. And, you know, he made out the trio of the three big action stars, you know, coming into the early 90s. And it's like, y'all was supposed to be in the movie together, like
right?
Y'all making a diner. Y'all supposed to got together and did a movie. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And I mean, as far as Bruce Willis go, I have no qualms with the Die Hard series. The Die Hard series, it definitely did his thing. I mean, he had 5 movies on his belt. I have no problems with that. I mean, Rambo, even though
Mel Gibson rounding out that as the top 4 because Mel Gibson, I would give his action career more status than Bruce Willis as far as overall movie status because Bruce Willis is just mainly Die Hard, whereas Mel Gibson, you know, went beyond Mad Max.
Yeah, Mad Max, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, I mean, it's just one of them things, man, where we had, and The Expendables was a great show, movie to show all those characters and do their thing, but it was a missed opportunity. You should have did when they was younger. Like, period.
And shout outs to Stallone for doing it because, you know, even at that time, you know, like Stallone at that time, that was in the early 2010s when The Expendables started coming out. And we was like, shoot, bro, you pushing like you getting ready to hit up on 70, man. Shoot, but he's still in great shape though, so I couldn't be mad at him. And you know, the generation of movie stars at that time, all of them were doing all these little prissy roles where they weren't trying to be like action stars. Like for instance, like the era of the generation like of Ben Affleck and Matt Damon. Like we almost thought that was a lost cause until next thing you know, Matt Damon flipped the script and started doing The Bourne Identity. And we was like, wait, Matt Damon?
Right.
Will Mr. Talented Mr. Ripley, because we thought Ben was going to be the more action star in between them, and then Matt Damon came up out of the blue with the Bourne Identity series, and it was like, wait,
Jason Bourne, the truth.
you know. And so, and then of course, you know, being, you know, played catch up later on after, you know, the Daredevil. I won't say the debacle because it wasn't really his fault as far as Daredevil go, because he was a great Daredevil as far as his casting go at the time, but he didn't really get back into as far as like doing something action oriented until, you know, he was casted as Batman, of course, which was a perfect stint for him being an older Batman, you know, a 20-year vet Batman, not
he's perfect Batman. He's
not
perfect
necessarily
Batman,
Dark Knight, but you know what I'm saying, but he's like right there at the perfect time, like where I believe as far as Batman's age would be like presently, you know, like 20 years in the game, you feel me? So that was perfection on that too.
He has the look for Batman. I mean, I don't think there's a better looking Batman that's ever came out. I mean, that fits the description of Batman. Like, he's that Batman. I mean,
Right.
like I tell y'all time and time again.
Fighting wise, you know what I'm saying, physique wise, you know what I'm saying, he
100%.
He hit the whole thing, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to get into bashing Christian Bale again. As I
Don't
always
do it. Don't do it.
I mean, I give him credit as being a great method actor because he does pour himself into different roles by, you know, transforming himself, you know, physically, from being real skinny to being real big athletic, all that type of stuff. But I don't know who told you to do this voice, but this voice I have.
Don't let him talk. Don't let him talk. I mean,
if they go back, like I said to you personally, and I'm telling y'all out there in the world, check this out because I done said it a couple of times. If they go over and dub over his voice with Kevin Conroy, I could watch those movies again and tolerate him as Batman. I could tolerate those movies. They go back and dub Kevin Conroy over his speaking roles as Bruce Wayne and as Batman, and I could tolerate the dude. But other than that, I didn't watch Batman Begins for him. I definitely don't watch Dark Knight for him. As a matter of fact, I might gonna find a Dark Knight. I might just show Dark Knight all Joker clips, which they probably got that on YouTube already.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah, so you know, Joker clips. Like nobody cares about that movie outside of seeing Heath Ledger playing the Joker, and then the Dark Knight Rises. I mean, it's just
so while we on the topic of Batman and TV shows, I just recently heard that the Batman and Catwoman sex scene was cut out of the Harley Quinn TV show because they said that that's not what Batman does. Batman doesn't screw chicks.
Come say what now?
I just known Batman for years of laying Batpipe. I don't know if they knew who Batman is, but they was like, no, that's not what Batman does. We don't want to write that into a scene, so they cut it out. So you cut out Batman having sex with Catwoman, when Batman had sex with Batgirl in The Killing Joke, and Robin had sex with Harley Quinn in the Harley Quinn Batman movie. So superheroes don't do what?
Make it make
sense.
I
mean, I know why they did it, because of that the underlying tones in that particular show. So I get why they did it. It was more of a retaliation more than anything. But you know,
make it make sense. Because
I digress. But I know Batman always is slanging his batarang, if you feel what I'm saying. You know what I
mean? He does that there. So I don't know what they talking about. As a matter of fact, I mean, that's the one thing that they had abscess amounts of in the movies. Let's see, from Vicky Vale in the first one,
right?
Catwoman in the second one, the Nicole Kidman's character in the third one, and who was it? Ella McPherson, who he was with in the fourth one, or whatever. You know, like
I think it was Ella McPherson.
I mean, yeah, it was kind of at that time. I mean, it was almost kind of like, dang, like they were emphasizing too much of the James Bond type aspect of Batman, where you know,
but it worked though. It worked.
I mean, I mean, and of course, I guess if they want to, you know, I mean, I guess they'll never squeeze in the whole thing with Talia, because we know Damian Wayne, y'all. For those that don't know, Damian Wayne, Batman's son, was not conceived out of love. It was, you know, he was drugged. He was drugged, and Mama took advantage of him. You
pretty
know,
much.
she took advantage of because she wanted her bat son. You know what I'm saying?
But so with TV, we got a couple of different things besides that. With TV, like Slim, if you queue it up, we got the first look of Naomi. Naomi is a very interesting character. If y'all haven't heard about Naomi, Naomi is kind of like an old god, new god type character. She first discovered her powers whenever Superman was fighting Mongol, and it kind of made her remember that that something happened before. And so this young lady is kind of discovering her powers, and her powers are very close to Superman. She's got super strength. She can fly. She's invulnerable. She's got and she can control energy. And this cover is actually very reminiscent to the Cable cover that they drew for the very first issue. So I'm really excited about this to see how this is going to turn out. That particular series. And then we got another one. Hold on, Slim. Let me get it.
I must admit I haven't checked out issue number 1 or the Naomi series yet, but I definitely look forward to seeing what it be about. And who is this? That is from a game or something, all right?
Yeah, now I'm gonna stop showing. Hold on, I gotta get to the
the
other thing I'm gonna share here. The other screen. Get to the screen. Y'all just screws me, y'all. I'm screw me. I'm sick, y'all.
While Johnny Quest Gaming is picking that up right now, also as far as TV go, anime, My Hero Academia celebrated its 100th episode this past weekend, this past Saturday. Of course, in Japan and anime, they don't really celebrate 100 episodes like that, but I thought we would, talk about it since, that is a milestone period, even though anime is usually running like 200, 300, 400, 500 episodes or whatnot.
Right.
But they, of course, came up on their 100th episode. Season 5, episode 12 came out this past Saturday, and it was great. Furthering along, Deku's journey into becoming the number 1 hero that he claimed he becomes in the future. And with this queue up right here, Johnny Quest Gaming is showcasing Lucas Fox from Batwoman in his Batwing attire. Now, me myself, I got to catch up on Batwoman. The last episode I saw was like episode 9 of season 2. I mean, it's been good, but if y'all know, I feel YouTube, like I be on my own personal channel. I be daggone throwing videos every daggone day, so I ain't had a chance to really catch up on some of these shows like I've been doing, because like after 2020, the CW DC universe, Arrowverse, whatever they call it now, what I'm saying, it just it hadn't really been hitting on me. But Batwoman, it came back very strong, especially after what happened last year with Ruby Rose abruptly quitting after the season 1 finale aired. And so this gentleman right here, excuse me for not knowing his name, the actor who plays Lucas Fox, this is a great pick of him, what I'm saying, showcase finally as Batwing, as we always knew him to become. What I'm saying, he's stepping his game up. Johnny Quest Gaming, what are your thoughts on, of course, this situation right here?
I mean, when I first seen this, I seen this earlier this week, and I was like, "Holy crap, man! That looks just like the comic book." I love how they stepped up the costume with this. I have been watching episodes here and there. You know what I mean? The show's pretty good. The only thing is, I wish that they would expand her rogues gallery. So that's my only really gripe with the show, is her rogues gallery isn't as big as it could be. But as far as this character goes here, this is a good step in the right direction. I love how, one thing I can say about DC as far as their attention to detail for their characters, they keep their costumes pretty accurate, and that's something that I wish that a lot of the Marvel shows would do. I mean, there's nothing wrong with taking your own, take on the character or whatever, but it's just some of those things that when you see that, you want that nostalgia, like, wow, that's my character, that's who he looks like, or that's his suit, and it's spot on. In this particular case, they were 100% spot on, man. Like, and I think his name is Camarius Johnson. I'm not 100% certain, but I think his name is Camarius Johnson. But yeah, man, I think that that is something that they should definitely work on as far as going forward with some of the Marvel shows. But other than that, man, I'm excited to see that suit actually in motion and see it work. I mean, y'all know who he is, right? As far as Lucius Fox goes, y'all know Lucius Fox is the man behind Batman's tech. He is the brain of the operation, which was played by none other than Morgan Freeman in the movies.
Yes, it was Morgan Freeman who played Lucius Fox in the Dark Knight series. Therefore, giving a little bit of credibility to that franchise there.
I remember him when he was young, still in the cave.
Oh, you mean Bruce Wayne? Because Morgan Freeman ain't never been young.
No, I don't think Morgan Freeman actually has the capability of being young. I think that's actually, we're actually looking at embryo Morgan Freeman. Like that's him as semen. When you see him now, like in Lean on Me, he was semen. He was, and then whenever you saw him in Driving Miss Daisy, that was him as an embryo. Like he was forming. He was past the third trimester. They couldn't abort him, but that was him. That's him. Now, when you see him now, he's actually a young teenager. I saw him in the liquor store one time. He was like, "Do you mind buying me a drink? I'm not old enough to buy my own alcohol." And I was like, "You Morgan Freeman, you like 1,000 years old." "I appear this old, but I am actually the reverse version of Benjamin Button." I was like, "Oh shit, that's what it is." I ain't know. Well, you know what I'm saying? That's that's dope. But so far as TV shows, man, I'm excited. I don't know if y'all excited, but I'm excited. I'm gonna show y'all why I'm excited, man. Hold on to your ooh. All right. Can we? Well, let's. All right, we can only show a couple of seconds of this because we don't want to get hit. But so yeah, go ahead and give
up. We don't need no copyright on y'all folks, player. We don't need none of that.
That's right. Rick and Morty season 5 is back. That's right, man. And let's pause that right there. Let's pause that right there. How insane is that? The Easter egg of Voltron. They got an episode. We're doing Mother Voltron.
Oh, now that's crazy. First and foremost, that is insane. That's definitely insane. I don't want to say too much. I don't want to get too deep into it because I actually haven't seen season 4, which I'm glad I haven't.
My God.
I'm gonna tell y'all why. I'm glad I haven't seen season 4 yet because guess what? That means I ain't gotta wait that long for season 5 because I mean
season 5 comes out Sunday.
Well, cool. Then I got all week to catch up on season 4. You know what I'm saying?
About the perfect Father's Day gift. I'm just gonna say, when you see season 4, it's gonna blow your mind because one thing I'll say about Rick and Morty, if y'all haven't noticed about Rick and Morty's not The Simpsons. So, which means when something happens on one episode, you go to the next episode.
Yeah,
nobody correlates except for the whole who killed Mr. Burns or the fact that Maude Flanders is dead. Those are the only things that really carry over from episode to episode. But Rick and Morty, even the crack on the middle of the street, where you remember in the season 1, I think, where Rick took the house into another dimension and then they brought the house back and it split. That crack is still there in the driveway. That's how intricate this show is. That's how it works as far as the time continuity. So when you see this episode, you see season 4, it's got some stuff in there, man. It's gonna blow your mind. Like
I definitely look forward to seeing it because, it's like I have so my patience. I don't have that type of patience like I used to when we were kids. When we used to daggone wait for every year for something to come on. I need to see it all now. I want to see it all now. And sometimes I wait on stuff, but then they just like with season 4, like I haven't seen season 4 yet because I wanted to get close enough to season 5 and then finally see season 4 because I mean, you know what I'm saying, like waiting that long type of time now, man, it's just like the wait for Invincible 2 is the wait for Loki episode 2 right now is
Yeah, man, the next episode of Bad Batch is just draining. But another Easter egg. What do you see here, Slim?
Oh yeah, we got a Transformer.
The show breaks the fourth wall over and over and over again. I mean, the fact that I don't know if y'all ever seen an episode where the Simpsons got an intro where Rick and Morty comes to their universe and they kill the Simpsons accidentally.
Nope.
And
I haven't seen that.
The Simpsons. This is an intro for The Simpsons.
I ain't even seen that.
And they land on him, they kill him on the sofa. Rick and Morty's like freaking out. Morty's like freaking out, and they go, I'm gonna see if I can find it. So let's pull it down.
Actually, it's a funny thing because that's the first I can't even remember the last time I seen the episode of The Simpsons, man, and that's so crazy. But we know that they are part of the time continuum. Like as soon as The Simpsons end, that's when the world was that's when the world was going to explode, like for real. So we already know that much. But it's like, dang, like as a matter of fact, Grand Hustle, I'm gonna ask you right now, Grand Hustle, last time you seen the episode of The Simpsons?
When Obama started off.
Really? Mm-hmm. Dang, at least you remember. It probably been longer than that for me. Like actually seeing a full on episode of The Simpsons, like for real. And so we got Johnny Quest. He got this thing queued up. You know what I'm saying? About to see what this intro look like here. You know what I'm saying?
Give y'all a couple minutes of it because again, we don't want to be.
Yeah, because Simpsons is owned by Fox, who is now owned by Disney now. So we ain't got time for the time there. You know what I'm saying? Oh, snap. Oh, wow. Yo. Oh, my God. That is so freaking cool. Hey, big wild on that one, man. Hey, girls, big wild on that one. You know how to do the couch intro, be coming in, everything be different, always something happen on there on the couch.
Yeah.
Daggone, they got sat down on the couch. Rick and Morty crashed through the daggone house and killed them, bro.
Wow. That's a teaser.
No. That was an intro for The Simpsons. It was on one of their intros. When they sit on the couch and something always happen.
I got to check that out.
Hey, Rick and Morty came through and just killed them. Oh, what? Okay, now I'm scared. What are they made of? Because they like yellow goo and crap.
Hey man, they horrible. Look at Marge in the background right here.
Yes. Oh.
look at Bart.
I don't know what's worse, like seeing them like that, or if they had actually, went the realistic route. I think this is even worse. This is just,
but that's just them breaking another wall of reality, man. Like the show does.
That is crazy, Johnny Quest, he just bapped out real quick, y'all. I don't know what just happened then, but Johnny Quest bapped out. That was crazy. Unexpected. I don't know what just happened then, but Johnny Quest, you still there? No, he's not there right now. So we're gonna wait for Johnny Quest to come back up in this thing, y'all. But that was freaking crazy. Make sure he still got the link real quick. Okay, there you go. I think he hit the button by mistake. There you go. Johnny Quest back in the building, y'all.
I hit the button by mistake, man. I was trying to close down, but yeah, Rick and Morty does that, man, and I think that's probably one of the best things ever. And
yeah, that was crazy. That was on the Simpsons episode.
It was on the Simpsons and it was on Rick and Morty.
That's
and
crazy.
Rick and Morty had it as a episode. It's like a full episode.
Don't tell me anymore if it's in season 4, because obviously it's in season 4 because it wasn't anything I seen. So
no, it's not on the episode. It's actually an intro of The Simpsons. So you have to look it up. You have to look it up. Look it up, and you see it. And when you see that episode, you could actually do a reaction while you're not watching it now. They can get a live reaction of you watching this thing, man. But when I tell you it's classic, and that's the thing that I like about Rick and Morty. I've always liked about Rick and Morty is there's no boundaries they won't cross. There's nothing that they won't do, because the fact that this show came in about characters who are directly involved with the multiverse. And that's something that if you guys are watching Loki, and that brings me up to my next topic about the multiverse is Doctor Strange in the multiverse, it's coming out this year or next year, whichever one Marvel decides. But in the comics, they're killing off Doctor Strange. He's out. The Sorcerer Supreme is going to die. How, I don't know. What leads up to it, I don't know. It's something maybe to do with this multiverse thing. I don't know. But that's another big storyline in the comics that happened, and you guys got to check it out. Another thing in comics, and we're on the grounds of comics while Slim is taking out that review, is Milestone Returns. Milestone Returns has came back in full swing. They brought back characters like Static Shock, which is actually drawn by a fellow colleague of ours called Nicholas Draper. Nicholas is drawing the season 1 of Static Shock, so it's going to be amazing. It's more reminiscent of the cartoon. And then we got the return of Rocket and Icon. We got Hardware. All of that is in that milestone book, so y'all definitely go check that out. There was a Black Panther series that recently came out, Black Panther Action, that I read that was pretty dope that I think everybody should check out. And then, of course, I'm still doing follow-ups on the Star Wars High Republic, which I said last time was what I said, New Republic, but it's High Republic, y'all, so please forgive me. Sometimes Johnny Quest brain be a little here and a little there. You know, he done had some things happen in the past. If I done told you some stories, so, you know, please listen to that. But, you know, but Slim, you checking out this trailer, this review, man, this ridiculous.
What was that?
You checking out this? You watching this intro, man?
What intro? What intro are you looking at, son?
No, I'm saying, are you watching the Rick and Morty one I was telling you about?
Oh, talking about with the Simpsons. I mean, I just saw it, so
okay.
I gotta check it out no more.
Yeah, man, it's wild, bro. It gets wild.
But check this out, guys. Right before I get into my spiel on comics, one last thing to talk about. Of course, Kevin Smith, a few days ago, just dropped his closer look on Masters of the Universe Revelation. I did a reaction to that earlier today, so definitely feel free to check that out on my channel. And I want to ask, of course, Johnny Quest Gaming, what do he think about the Masters of the Universe Revelation, the closer look that Kevin Smith gave as far as tidbits of what to expect from this new series coming out next month on the 23rd.
So I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I don't care if Kevin Smith had said tomato, pancake, garlic bread, toaster. After watching the trailer of He-Man, I'm sold. I'm just like, take my money, please. Like, if y'all haven't seen this trailer, I don't know what you're doing. You might be having sex with your wife. You might be plotting to kill your wife, but you need to stop right now and go, hey, what's going on, Chris? Thank you for coming in. But you want to go right now and watch this trailer. Watch it. Go watch this trailer right now. And for the comic book people, if you haven't heard, go get the comic. The comic came out last Wednesday, Masters of the Revelation 1. So if you got any questions about what's going on with He-Man, and my man Slim going to break it down to you for a little He-Man history, because I'm sure a lot of y'all have only watched the 80s cartoons and just pretty much your knowledge ends right there. But Slim going to school you a little bit on He-Man and let you know where He-Man's been the last 30 years. Slim.
Right. So with that being said, like He-Man still been here. So if you just been stuck on He-Man in the 80s, then you just ain't been rocking with He-Man. Just that simple. Like, and that's like having something in your closet and you don't wear it no more because you think it's out of style or whatever, but it's still in your closet. It's still there. You know what I'm saying? And then one day somebody say, hey man, check this out. Man, this is the new thing right here. This is the new thing. And then they be like, wait, I have that. And you go in your closet and you be like, oh snap. So this is cool now. Again, like it's been here. You know what I'm saying? He-Man ain't went nowhere. It's just like the Ninja Turtles ain't went nowhere. It's like Transformers ain't went nowhere. Like they've been here. You might have lost touch with it, but it's been here. It didn't just stay in the 80s. It's been here. You know what I'm saying? You can go back 10 years, see stories about He-Man. You can go back 20 years, see stories about He-Man. Did you watch He-Man back in 2002? Did you watch the 2002 series? I mean, that was a reboot, but this right here is a continuation, a story continuation of what happened back in the 80s. And I don't want to say finalization because I hope that after this, that whether Kevin Smith is involved or not, it keeps on going. You know what I'm saying? To an extent, because of course we as 80 babies, we those who are fans of the property, love this joint. Just like Grant Husker left a great comment earlier today, talking about how Netflix has done a great job, pretty much resurrecting 80s properties, new shows from the Transformers War for Cybertron series that just recently came out, the Voltron series that came out 5 years ago that was running for, it had 8 seasons of it wasn't 8 years, but 8 seasons. I mean, if you've seen the Voltron episodes, you know what I'm talking about. It had, I mean, that was great and solid with story and everything like that. And then now you have, of course, this He-Man. The only one that wasn't treated with, the respect they deserve, of course, was Thundercats with the thing that we will not talk about. You know what I'm saying? That just recently came out a year or two ago, but we ain't talking about that right there. The only thing we acknowledge with Thundercats is the 85 and the 2011. That's it. Anything else? Nope. So if you want to know more about, He-Man, and if you want to see more videos about, me, like I'm as far as like me going into it, because I don't have my toys anymore, but I still got my comics that came with the toys. I will be doing a video of that, showcasing those joints very soon. So be on the lookout for that. But from He-Man, and that being said, now back into comic books. Of course, I said this government real quick, my bad. But Johnny Quest,
erase the tape, rewind.
Hey, well, nervy unts. There you go. So with that being said, Johnny Quest Gaming had just mentioned He-Man has a new book out with DC Comics, which has been making Masters of the Universe books for the past decade at this point. And they have books tying in with the new series Revelation that just recently came out last week. Also, long-running independent comic book from Image Comics, Savage Dragon, just dropped issue number 259 last week. The long-running series by writer, artist, creator Eric Larson is steadily trucking. That's all I gotta say. You know what I'm saying? And hey, all I can do is do like this because I wish to have half that longevity that the man got. You feel me? So next year be 30 years since the miniseries came out back in 1992, and the regular series starting in 93, and has been trucking ever since, all the way up to right now in 2021. You feel me? And shout out to Chris Porter, my friend, who just came up in the building, showcasing everybody. Shout out to everybody who is watching us live right now, and those who will be watching way back in the playback, Maybach, as I say. You dig? So you know what I'm saying? Hey, make sure you tell your friends, your families, your aunts, your cousins, your enemies, everybody about the Nerd Strip Club going on right now. You feel me?
Let them know, man. Put it on a rock and throw it through a window. Don't necessarily do that.
Put us in these streets, man. Put us in these streets. We for the streets.
Put us in the game, coach. So in video game news, exciting things happen. It is E3. So if you guys don't know, if you've been on the rock, the E3 is here, it's back. So some really great announcements. One was the Guardian of the Galaxy RPG made by Square Enix, the same people who brought us Outriders that we talk about here on the show, as well as they brought us the Avengers. Now this one looks pretty promising. Looks like you can play all the characters pretty much in tangent at the same time. So I thought that was pretty amazing and awesome. So looking forward to playing this game. And another one that's going to be really awesome is Black Panther's DLC is finally hitting. So for everybody that's been waiting, it is time. Wakanda forever. It's time, guys. The Black Panther is finally coming to the Avengers game. So that's excitement. And the last one that I'll speak on is
before you speak on that last one, I got an honest question for you. Is Black Panther DLC gonna save that game? Because the consensus on that game is that it sucks.
I'll be honest with you. I don't even think the Black Panther can save that game. It is probably already over for it. But it will be fun to play as him. So,
it'll be fun if y'all make a Black Panther game. How about
that? That would be the point. I will say something about the game, though, the trailer. You got to see Black Panther. You got to see him in Wakanda, so it definitely takes place in Wakanda. They actually added a new social area that is inside of like a Wakanda building looking out over Wakanda, so you can kind of look at how nice that is. And the main villain, Claw, actually is going past the cinematic universe. We actually get to see Claw more in his comic book form, so I thought that was pretty dope. So I look forward to seeing it. I don't think really the play mechanics is going to be too much different, but I think Square Enix is want to put a lot into this because of the fact that the whole Hawkeye DLC didn't go so well. It was just like, it was just something thrown in there. So I'm interested. It's going to give some people a few moments to play it, as opposed to looking at it, may do it. They're going to download it. It's just something to get more fans to come back in for a little quick time period because people love Black Panther, and the fact that rest in power Chadwick. With him being gone, people are going to support that as well. So it's a timely move. It's a good move. I'm excited to see it, but the game is done. I mean, the game is the Titanic. They playing the music as the ship is going down. It's over. It's over for the game. And to all the game creators out there and the gaming studios, one thing you want to do is you never leave a hungry person not fed. If they're hungry for what you got, keep feeding them. Don't stop and say, you know what, well, we're working on this, we're working on that, because guess what's going to happen? They're going to go eat somewhere else.
Speaking of that being said, because I want you to get into your point that you was about to talk about another game real quick. So do you still have that on your brain?
The next thing I was going to talk about was Halo.
Okay.
So Halo Infinite, the much anticipated awaiting game for the Xbox Series X. Xbox Series X released back in November. Unfortunately, when it released, it didn't have any titles as far as launch date. That was one of the things that the PlayStation 5 had up on it. The Halo Infinite, which is the next installment of the Master Chief Halo series and his saga, was delayed due to mechanics and the fact that they really wanted to make it more compatible and deliver an overall experience that was better. So that part I can respect. However, the game's been pushed back. But in E3, they just released a new trailer, which is amazing. The storyline part is really, really amazing, guys. If you haven't seen it, go see that trailer. But the thing that made people probably drop their trials and shit on themselves was the multiplayer aspect. The new multiplayer aspect of Halo is that was what back in the day, if you're an old Xbox game head, that made Xbox Live what it is. The reason why Xbox Live is probably one of the biggest competitive arenas for players and the whole first-person shooting genre was because of Halo. And this new Halo Infinite, it's there. You watch the trailer for the multiplayer Halo Infinite, it is there. I mean, we can show you a brief tidbit of that. Hold on, give me a second. But the Halo Infinite, it's going to be amazing. I think that they waited, they bided their time, and by them buying their time, I think that was a great decision. Okay, so here we go, Slim. I'm gonna
while we're getting ready to showcase this thing right here, I also want to say to y'all, definitely go check out my boy Johnny Quest Gaming's channel, where he is right now currently playing a game called Biomutant. Can you tell him a little bit something about Biomutant as we watch this Halo joint?
Yeah, no doubt. So Biomutant actually is about a post-apocalyptic world where all the humans are gone due to our own recklessness in destroying the environment. That's pretty much all that I'm going to show. But the Biomutant, it takes place in this world where all the humans are gone, and due to our recklessness with radioactive waste, it affected the animals, and animals pretty much evolved or mutated into these creatures that are sentient, intelligent beings. You're still sharing. So these are sentient, intelligent beings, and pretty much, actually, we can show some Biomutant from my channel while we're doing that. But basically, they are in their own world. It's a world mix of kind of like with Kung Fu and first-person shooters, and it's got a lot of different elements thrown in there. It kind of reminiscent to Fable. If you guys have played Fable back in the day, it's a lot like Fable or Legend of Zelda, or even some of your newer stuff like Ghost of Tsushima. It's got a lot of those elements in there. As you can see, the characters fully customization possible. Every little piece of armor, you can go in there, you can change, and you can tweak out. You actually can craft your gear. So there's a huge crafting system on there. And there's not a learning curve. So when you jump into the game, you automatically can start learning the game right off the top for something that's kind of complex like this with all the different intricate parts. Little grasshopper that you see there is actually your companion. He's like a metal Jiminy Cricket. He's actually also the navigator, the narrator of the story, which is kind of like your like the Fable where you have the narrator. And there's also another Fable element, like a dark and a light side. So the choices that you choose put you closer to the dark side or the light side. The world is fully open roam. This is in a 4K. I think this is about 4K, 30 frames per second. I'm actually playing this on PlayStation 5, so I don't know if they actually have put this up to 60 frames per second or not. I have to see the exact details on it. But it's a beautiful game. It's one of those games where it's not super, super fast paced in the beginning. There is a lot of exploring if you go off the beaten path. If you stick to the main storyline, then you got a lot of interesting action sequences. But your character, you build him the way you want to build him. If you want to be a gunslinger, if you want to be a martial artist, or if you want to be a guy that uses powers, that's up to you. And that's not even including to the classes. Like we haven't even got to the different classes of the game. Like, so what happens, unlike most games, when you design your character and you make him taller or shorter, this actually impacts the character. So if you make a guy that's kind of built and brawny, then he's going to be more stronger and slower than a normal character to start off with. Or if you make him, more skinnier and longer, he's going to be more agile. And my character is in between. But you have those different characters. You got Commando, you got Deadeye, and you have the Scion, which is kind of like he plays the game Infamous with the guy with the powers. It's kind of like an Infamous. So it's a great game. It's a lot of different things to it. Like I said, when you first get into it, it is a little slower as far as like evolving. But once it evolves, man, you just doing so much in the world. You're kind of like living in this world. It's a lot like also the game Remnant of the Ashes. The only difference is here there isn't the Darksiders element, so it's a little bit more forgiving as far as death and battle. So when you're fighting, there's more of a learning curve that you can adapt to. But as far as like the searching and finding things in the world, then it's got that element. But it's a decent game. I like it. I probably put in about maybe 20 hours. I know some guys here that's put in 300 hours, so I'm nowhere near close as to what can be done on the game so far. I think the main story is about 20 hours, and some of the side quests are about 50 hours, and then there's just overly a large amount of other content to get to. And the DLC hasn't even dropped for this, so imagine what happens when the DLC comes. And this is these guys' first game, and it's low budget, so kudos to them. But this is my footage, guys, from my channel, Johnny Quest Gaming. You can always tune into me. I'm live streaming. This is a commentary free because I do commentary, but that's on special occasions. That's on my Friday nights. You want to come down and say, Johnny Quest, go ahead and commentary to me. And I say, you want me to commentary to you? I commentary to you, so that happens then. But yeah, y'all.
Tabernacle, baby, tabernacle. And also, I got one more thing to say concerning games right now, because just a tad bit of a rant, y'all, because Johnny Quest Gaming was talking to Grand Hustler yesterday, and y'all know E3 is going on. Shout outs, E3 is going on. E3. Now, here's a game that came out when we were all teenagers. A lovely game, a legendary game. One of the first RPGs, on the new system at the time, the PlayStation. No numbers at the end, was just PlayStation 1 actually. So came out in 1997. Y'all know where I'm going. Final Fantasy 7. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know by Square. Okay, now if I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly, if I heard right. Let me know now. Did you say that they said the next game is coming out? The part 2 of the remake that came out last year in 2020 is coming out in. Did you say 2 years?
Now, I recall there been a discussion of some time to that extent. The full completion of the game is probably going to be around 6 years. The full completion, but before we go into that, I'm gonna show y'all a little bit of the game, and I will say, Final Fantasy,
there ain't no game. They're gonna wait for that long to just complete itself when they already had a good 20 years to do something.
And Crystal, you're absolutely right. The game, I got it queued up, Slim. You can pull it up.
Now,
the game.
Now I know you read the, you know what I'm saying, to kiss the ring on the game, because I know the game is beautiful. I know it's beautiful. I know
the game is beautiful. I mean, the type of work they put into is great.
But guess what? This is work they should have already had done. When did Avid Children come out? How long has it been since Avid Children came out? Avid Children came out what? I mean, literally, Avid Children came out almost 20 years ago. It was like what, 05, 07?
No, it was earlier than that.
No, it wasn't earlier than that, because the Spirits Within came out 01. That was the first time that we seen them on that.
It came out like maybe 2 years later though.
I think it came out by 05, 07. We'll look at it. As a matter of fact, let me look it up right now. Let me just quit playing, look it up right now.
So why does this plan? Let's give a little introduction to Final Fantasy 7
2005.
remake.
Like I said, 2005. So
Final Fantasy 7 remake, it was one of those things where they went back and they wanted to tell the story in depth. Like if you imagine the old school Final Fantasy, it's kind of like looking at it through a synopsis or a quick shot. This is going more in depth, so you get to see, like, you're actually walking around Midgar and you're seeing the slums in their full detail.
They had 15 years to be in depth. Why they gotta daggone go a whole another 20 something?
I ain't got that. You know anything about Square Enix, man? They went to the point from delivering some of the best RPGs in the world to being just cash grabs, and
that's exactly what they are. That's exactly what they are.
Final Fantasy, but they do have one part that I think is going to be great. If it's 100% certain from the trailer that I've seen, there's a new multiplayer aspect coming out where you get to actually create your own soldier. So, Cloud is a soldier in this game, or ex-soldier. You're going to get to create your own soldier and do like a PvP type thing. So that's cool. But
check this out real quick. Man, check this out real quick. I just want to say this. That sounds cool and all. But all that should have been done when the game came out. They should have had all bases covered when this game came out. And the most I would have done as far as like wigging on these parts. Okay, last year part 1 came out. 2022 part 2 come out. 2024 part 3 come out. I can see that. Well, if you're telling me I gotta wait. Well, you saying 6 years until its completion? You know what? I already know how Square gonna work. Square gonna wait 6 years to part 2 come out. Part 2 ain't coming out to what year is it? 2021. Part 2 ain't coming out until the 30th anniversary of the freaking game in 2027.
Well, you probably got
might be even longer. It might not come out in 2030. They probably gonna drop it every 10 years. Part 2 gonna come out in 2030. Part 3 gonna come out in 2040. Get out of here.
I'm hoping that's not the case. I mean, with Final Fantasy, this first game is the very first disc, so you get to play through all of the first disc on this one from the original, if you remember the original. So basically, it's the first disc, and then they just recently dropped DLC for a intermission or interlude where they introduced Yuffie earlier than the time, because Yuffie was following them in the forest. And that's how he came on Yuffie. But in this story, they actually go back and tell you, no, you gotta pay $20.
Of course, you gotta pay for it. You gotta pay for everything.
You gotta pay $20 for the interlude to play as Yuffie. It's not part of the main story. It's just an interlude. So
I know. And
so far, I'm probably, if you do the math, I'm $100 into this game already, just for 2 parts.
Child. See, I had to say child right now, but yo,
$79 for the collector's edition. $79 for the collector's edition, $20 for the interlude. Yeah, it's painful. And it's one of them things, man, where the thing is done by freaking like a Unreal Engine, as you can see, much close to a game that you play for free right now.
Wait, Unreal Engine is working with Square on this too?
I mean, it's got the type of Unreal,
like it's on that level. Got you.
Yeah.
And with that being said, that was the saving grace for me for 2020, because I'm not a super gamer, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a super gamer, but when JohnnyQuestGaming told me about Dragon Roger and I checked this game out, I was like, okay, cool. And I swear, if that game was, if I could throw that game on the TV, shoot, I'd be playing that mug on the TV. Which, as a matter of fact, shout outs to, well, it's no longer her birthday now. Earlier today, the 14th was her birthday, because we're over midnight now, y'all. It's the 5th of June, 2021. Shout outs to my friend Tootie, who I got into the game the night before her birthday. She plays the game via the BlueStacks on her laptop, so she's playing Dragon Roger on her PC. So that's I think that's freaking cool, because that is an awesome game, y'all. If y'all haven't played Dragon Roger, go check that out. It's free. You can't beat free, baby. Well, there's some things you can pay for, obviously. I mean, you know, there are things that you can pay for on there, but you know, overall, you can play it for free.
And for everybody, just let you know, the Masters of the Universe Revelation Toys releases today too.
Ooh, ooh! That part, baby, that part. Music. What's going on in music? Nothing that I know of. What's going on? What you know about some music right now that week, out? Because you know, I don't keep up with it with y'all new generation music. I really don't. So,
hey man, ain't nothing need straightening, but straightening is the thing that's trending right now. A track from the Amigos off their new album, Culture 3. That's pretty much the only thing that I've really heard, really music-wise, has really popped out. Of course, like I said, I think this week or next week, Gucci Mane's new album comes out. So Ice Daddy. So that's gonna be the big buzz whenever that drop. But nothing like really super relevant as of this moment. Drake is coming out with it. He's coming out with a new album, and I know Lil Wayne is coming out with a new album, but I think that was going to be later on this summer. But not really.
With that being said, I'm just gonna start introducing y'all to old school music, because some of y'all don't even know about real music anyway. Hey, go search Lonely Soldier Boy here on YouTube. That's what y'all need to do. Robotech, go listen to some Robotech music. That's what y'all need.
Hey man, that'll blow their mind. That'll blow their mind.
That's what I'm gonna start doing. I'm just gonna introduce y'all to real, because I don't know what y'all be. I don't know what all that is. They sound like droid music. Beep, 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 beep. R2D2 coming out with a track. Beep, 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 boop, boop.
Hey man, you know, everybody is used to make jokes about the music, about how it's gonna sound in the future, like the and I swear to you, my son listened to a thing called Dr. Funkenstein. And he was like, "Oh, you should play." We were driving in the car, and he was like, "You know, everybody listen to their song or whatever."
Funkenstein, that's George Clinton.
It's not George Clinton, apparently. Apparently, they changed it. But he was like, "Oh, play this track," and I'm like, "Okay." I'm like, "Yeah." They're going to just be wearing vagina pants pretty soon, because this is the future that's going into there, you know. It's going to be, remember that old Mad TV episode where they was like, oh, they like to show their belly button off, much like how we put our vaginas on display now. You know, it's like, so.
Which is pretty much where we at now. We
OnlyFans! No.
We just about there. Any closing words, man?
Hey man, I'm just gonna say, man, while y'all out there, and I know everybody is so amped to get back into these streets, man, and you know, live life like how it was before the pandemic. But be careful out there, man. I mean, you know, take your time. Just because we have a vaccine, quote unquote, is not a cure. It's not a 100% guaranteed cure. So it makes no sense to put yourself in harm's way. You know, take your time, get out there, and you know. Have fun, but be safe, man. Be cautious. Your boy Johnny had his own scare, because I thought I was out of here, man. I was like, oh, I got it. But luckily, it was no more than a nasal, a sinus infection. So, you know, that was lucky for me. But still, man, protect yourself, man. Nothing is worth 5 minutes of pleasure can be a lifetime of pain, as they said in the old school movie. But you know, take care of yourself, man. Y'all be blessed.
That part. With that being said, just don't be out in the streets and acting stupid. Nerd Strip Club, we out.